Hey guys, Thomas Cecilio Jr. here, aka Mustached, here with my review for Daddy's Home featuring Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg. So, before I begin this review, if you're not a fan of Will Ferrell's comedy or his style of comedy, you probably won't find his style in this movie funny that great. However, the other issue I have is I feel like with these two have working together before in the movie, the other guys, I thought their chemistry would be much better than it was in this movie, and it felt a bit more disconnected. So we have this movie, and Will Ferrell is the stepdad, and Mark Wahlberg is the real father, and he's like this super cool guy and stuff like that. And a lot of the comedic moments, a majority of them they didn't really land or stick. There's a lot of Will Ferrell type comedy, and it's not as strong. I thought, just like the other guys, Mark Wahlberg's presence was much stronger than Will Ferrell. As he did feel like he was trying a bit more, but onto the overall story. So, as I said, Will Ferrell's a stepdad. The kids don't like him at first, and of course, over time, they start to get to like him and stuff. Mark Wahlberg returns, and at first, Mark Wahlberg's like leaving these small little hints, like especially during the nighttime with the kids, where he's like telling these stories about how he's the cool one and stuff like that. Um, and that goes on for a bit, and then at some point, Will Ferrell has finally had enough. He says he's gonna compete. Uh, and this is like in the last part, like during the endish part of the movie, where he's like, "I'm gonna compete. I'm gonna not even tell my wife about this, but we're gonna compete." And then he does all this crazy stuff, like making Christmas come early for the kids, and then getting them seats to this basketball game. And then, if you've seen it in the trailer, he gets drunk and then he goes down and then he tries to do the shot and then he hits one of the cheerleaders or something. Uh, you know, and I didn't find that funny at all. I mean, it's just like I said, it's something I was really expecting, so it didn't come across as anything worth funny or comedic at that point. But anyways, after they sort of both goof up in their own rights, they are invited to this sort of dance thing with their daughter. Um, and they sort of both want to go, and they both go, and then there's this confrontation with this other guy and this other daughter and stuff like that, and it gets resolved via dancing. Um, and they finally get together, and they're like, "Yeah, we're cool with this setup." Mark Wahlberg moves on, and then we have a cameo appearance by none other than John Cena. I'm guessing this is supposed to set up some sort of potential sequel between Mark Wahlberg and John Cena. I don't know. I don't know how that pairing would go, but it could be interesting. But if it would be anything like this, it's up in the air for me. I mean, like I said, Will Ferrell's comedic moments didn't really stick with me. Mark Wahlberg was the one trying a bit harder. The overall story was pretty nice, but there just wasn't that many comedic moments overall. So I'm gonna give this movie a 5 out of 10. There were some okay moments and some out of nowhere moments that were like actually managed to get me laugh, but none of them came from the main characters, which I found really bizarre since the movie does focus on them. The other characters that we see in this movie feel like there's no right to any of them. There's like Will Ferrell's boss. I don't remember the actor. I don't remember his name, but he's the last movie I can recall seeing him in was like George of the Jungle. He was like that bad guy. I can't remember his name, but he was just so very like. And then there was this other guy who ended up just living in their house. And that guy had a very similar performance, was just very one dimensional and just very flat. And I don't know if either of those characters really needed to be in this movie. I mean, the competition between the two doesn't happen until the third act, which is so weird. And then, I don't know. It's a pretty movie. It's not something, if you didn't find any of Will Ferrell's previous movies funny, it's not going to come across here in any way, I don't think. And that's about it. So that's my review. And this has been Thomas Silla Jr., aka Mustache Tom, and I'll see you guys next time.